You didn't choose to watch this video. You think you did, but the decision was already made before you even realized you were clicking. Here's what's wild. Scientists put people in scanners and could predict what button they'd push 7 to 10 seconds before the person knew they'd decided. Think about that. You're living your whole life thinking you're the one calling the shots, but you're really just the narrator explaining decisions that already happened. It's like when you're driving home and suddenly realize you don't remember the last 5 minutes. Who was driving? Not the conscious you. You're on autopilot most of the time, and the aware part of you is just the passenger telling yourself you meant to go this way. When you reach for your phone, that movement started before you thought, I want my phone. When you choose chocolate over vanilla, the choice was already made while you were still looking at the menu. You're not making decisions. You're creating stories about decisions that already got made. This isn't some deep philosophy. They can literally see this happening in real-time scans. Your unconscious is like that friend who always spoils the movie ending. Except the movie is your life, and you're always 7 seconds behind the plot. Chapter 1. The Habit Machine. Let's play a game. I'll describe your morning. You tell me if I'm wrong. You woke up, probably hit snooze once, grabbed your phone before your feet hit the floor, scrolled through the same apps in the same order, had the same breakfast thoughts, and took the same shower length. How'd I do? Almost half your day is pure habit. Not decisions, not choices, just automatic programs running in the background. You're basically a human playlist on repeat. And the funny part, you call this your life. There's this ancient part of you that handles all your routines. It doesn't care about your goals or your vision board. It just wants to be efficient. Do something enough times. Boom, it becomes automatic. Takes about 2 months. 2 months of anything, and you're locked into that pattern for years. Think about your drive to work. You zone out, think about other stuff, and somehow arrive safely. Your hands know how to text without looking. You can find the bathroom in the dark. These aren't skills. They're just proof that you're running on autopilot. You know what's really crazy? Your entire personality might just be habits that got stuck. You're not an anxious person. You just have an anxiety habit. You're not lazy. You have an avoidance habit. You don't have habits. Habits have you. Chapter 2. The Personality Prison. Want to know something that'll mess with your head? Half of who you are was decided before you were born. Your personality? It came with the package, like a phone with pre-installed apps you can't delete. Your parents didn't just give you their nose or their eyes. They gave you their anxiety, their temper, their need for attention. You know those personality tests everyone loves? They're basically just measuring what your genes already decided. But here's where it gets really interesting. Between birth and about age 7, you're basically recording everything. Not learning, recording. Every fight your parents had, every time someone said you weren't good enough, every pattern of love or neglect, it all became your operating system. You're not living your life. You're living your childhood on repeat. That voice in your head that says you're not doing enough, that's probably your mom or dad from when you were 5. The way you handle money, you learned that before you could count. Your relationship patterns, you're basically dating the same person over and over, trying to fix a childhood wound that won't heal. Think you're nothing like your parents? Give it 10 years. You'll catch yourself saying the exact thing they said, in the exact same tone, and realize you're not the rebel you thought you were. You're the sequel. Chapter 3. The Social Operating System. Here's a fun fact that'll ruin your sense of individuality. You're basically just a mashup of the 5 people you hang out with most. You have these special cells that make you copy everyone around you. Not consciously, automatically. Their words, their posture, their beliefs, even their breathing patterns. You think you chose your opinions? Nah, you caught them. Like a cold, but for personalities. Remember in school when the teacher said something and you just accepted it? That programming never stopped. Your boss says jump, you jump. The news says worry, you worry. Authority figures aren't teaching you. They're programming you. And you're still running their code. Want to know the craziest part? Where you were born matters more than how smart you are. Your zip code predicts your income, your health, even how long you'll live. You didn't choose your path in life. Your postal code chose it for you. Everyone around you is doing the same things, thinking the same thoughts, living the same patterns. And you? You're looking at them to figure out what's normal, then copying it perfectly while thinking you're being original. You're not unique. You're just your environment's greatest hits album. Chapter 4. The Bias Blindfold. Your mind doesn't want the truth. It wants to be right about what it already believes. And it'll ignore, twist, or forget anything that disagrees. You know when you buy a car and suddenly see that car everywhere? They were always there. You just started noticing. Same thing happens with everything you believe. Your perception is like a bouncer at a club, only letting in information that matches the dress code of your existing beliefs. You're actually wired to hate losing more than you love winning. That's why you stay in relationships that suck, jobs that drain you, habits that hurt you. It's not that you're weak. Your system literally values keeping what you have twice as much as getting something better. First impressions aren't just important. They're basically permanent. Whatever you learn first about something becomes the filter for everything after. That's why the person who names the first price usually wins, and why you can't shake that first impression of someone, even with years of evidence. Here's the best part. You decide what you want to believe first. Then your mind builds a case for it, like a lawyer who knows the verdict before the trial. You think you're being logical? You're just really, really good at justifying what you already wanted to think. Chapter 5. The Digital Puppet Strings. Pull out your phone. Check your screen time. I bet it's over 4 hours. And I bet you've already checked it 3 times since this video started. Don't feel bad. They literally hired neuroscientists to make you addicted. Every notification, every red dot. It's designed like a slot machine. Sometimes you win, sometimes you don't, so you can't stop pulling the lever. You're not using Instagram. Instagram is using your reward system against you. The algorithm knows you better than your best friend. It knows what makes you stop scrolling, what makes you angry, what keeps you watching. It builds a profile of your deepest insecurities and desires. Then it feeds them back to you in an endless loop that you pay for with your attention. You think you're seeing reality on your feed, but you're in a custom-built bubble. The algorithm decides what news you see, what opinions exist, what's normal in your world. You're not connected to the world, you're connected to a simulation designed to keep you scrolling. And here's the really messed up part. You know all this. You know it's bad for you. You know it's wasting your life. But you'll still check your phone the second this video ends. Because knowing you're addicted and breaking the addiction are 2 completely different things. Join our YouTube membership for exclusive perks like early access to scripts, input on future topics about productivity, and connect with a like-minded community that gets it. Click join below and let's build your easier, more intentional life together. Chapter 6. The Language Cage. You literally cannot think a thought you don't have words for. Your vocabulary is the border of your mental country. The average person knows thousands of words, but only uses about 3,000 day to day. Those 3,000 words? That's your entire reality. You're not limited by your intelligence. You're limited by your dictionary. Some languages have words for feelings you can't even imagine. The Japanese have tsundoku, buying books and never reading them. Germans have verschlimmbessern, making something worse by trying to improve it. These aren't just words. They're entire experiences you can't have because English doesn't let you. That voice in your head, the one that never shuts up, it's speaking in patterns you learned as a kid. The same phrases, the same questions, the same doubts, over and over. You're not having thoughts. You're playing a greatest hits album of sentences you heard before you were 10. The questions you ask yourself determine your entire life. Ask, why am I such a failure? And you'll find evidence. Ask, what can I learn from this? And it completely changes the game. Your internal dialogue isn't describing your life. It's creating it. Chapter 7. The Evolution Override. Your system thinks you still live in a cave. That's why you panic when your phone dies. Your ancient wiring thinks you've been separated from the tribe. That fight or flight response, that was perfect for running from tigers. Now it fires when you get a passive-aggressive email. Your body prepares for physical combat when someone unfollows you. You're having a full survival response. To a notification, status used to mean survival. Higher rank meant more food, better mates, safer territory. Now, you're checking likes to see if you're winning a game that hasn't mattered for 10,000 years. But your programming doesn't know the game ended. You automatically divide the world into us and them. Your political party, your phone brand, your coffee shop choice, these aren't preferences. They're your modern tribes. And you'll defend your iPhone like your ancestors defended their cave. The mating game affects everything. Men literally take dumber risks when attractive women are around. Women's preferences actually change throughout the month. You think you're making rational choices? You're just a very sophisticated animal with a LinkedIn profile. Chapter 8. The Time Distortion. You would take $50 today over 100 next month, not because you need it, but because your psychology literally cannot properly value the future. Present you and future you are basically strangers. That's why you eat the whole pizza, skip the gym, stay up till 3 a.m. You treat future you like some other person's problem. Every time you procrastinate, you're basically pranking future you. And they hate you for it. Your memories aren't recordings. They're more like Wikipedia pages that anyone can edit. Every time you remember something, you change it a little. The past gets updated to match who you are now. Your childhood memories, they're mostly fiction written by current you. You think that project will take 2 hours. It takes 6. You think you'll wake up early tomorrow? You won't. You think this will be the last YouTube video? It never is. Your inner optimist believes in a version of you that has never existed. A motivated, disciplined, early rising superhuman who definitely isn't watching this at 2 a.m. The focusing illusion makes you think whatever you're thinking about is the most important thing. Lost your job? Life is over. Got a raise? Life is perfect. But give it 3 months. You'll be back to the same level of happy or unhappy you always were. Because that level, it's programmed too. Chapter 9. The Awareness Paradox. So, here's the joke the universe is playing on you. You now know you're programmed. And tomorrow, you'll run the exact same programs anyway. You can understand every pattern, every bias, every trick your mind plays, and still fall for all of them. It's like knowing how a magic trick works, but still being fooled by it. Knowledge doesn't equal power. It just equals frustrated awareness. But wait, there's something interesting happening. Once you see these patterns, you can't unsee them. You'll catch yourself mid-habit. You'll notice when you're copying someone. You'll feel your biases kicking in. And in that split second of noticing, something incredible happens. A gap opens. Between trigger and response, there's a tiny space. Usually it's microseconds. But once you see it, you can stretch it. Not always, not even often. But sometimes, you can't stop being automatic. But you can become someone who occasionally catches themselves being automatic. The awareness becomes part of your programming. You develop habits of noticing habits, patterns of catching patterns. It's still automatic behavior, but it's automatic behavior that sometimes interrupts other automatic behavior. And that might be the closest thing to free will you'll ever get. Chapter 10. The Intervention Window. You have exactly one superpower, the ability to catch yourself. You can't stop reaching for your phone, but you can notice your hand moving. You can't stop the angry thought, but you can watch it arise. You can't prevent the habit, but you can witness it happening. This isn't about control. It's about observation. Because what you can see, you can sometimes sidestep. Change your environment, change your behavior. It's that simple. Move your phone to another room, you'll check it 50% less. Take a different route home, you'll have different thoughts. Rearrange your kitchen, you'll eat differently. You can't reprogram yourself directly, but you can reprogram your triggers. The 3-second rule is your secret weapon. Before any decision, count to 3. That's it. Just 3 seconds between impulse and action. It's not meditation. It's just math. 3 seconds of space where something else might happen. Change the questions, change your life. Instead of, why does this always happen to me? Try, what is this teaching me? Instead of, what's wrong with me? Ask, what pattern am I running? You can't escape the mental loops, but you can upgrade the script. Look, you're 99% programmed. Your thoughts, your feelings, your choices, almost all of it is automatic. But that 1% of awareness, that tiny sliver that's watching this video, that noticed you were holding your breath just now, that realizes you've been running the same patterns for years, that 1% isn't nothing. It's the crack in the code where change slips in. And maybe, just maybe, that's enough to matter. And hey, if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. Also, let me know your thoughts on what I just shared. Oh, and there's more. I've just started a Patreon to help support these videos and connect with you more directly. Check out the link in the description if you'd like to join.